is Ahmad Faisal bin Muhammad Rusdi. So first, I will explain the introduction of educational policy and also about the transition program and DDTV KPM. The Federation of Malaya and also now Malaysia has executed education policy to increase proportion, create and unify an ethnically diverse population through a common curriculum and language. Enable the disadvantages to catch up through affirmative action and build human capital as the country strives to become a developed country in the face of globalization since gaining independence in 1957. In order to solve the education issue in Malaysia regarding to the current situation of COVID-19, government was planned to continue and improve the implementation of transition program and DDTV program. For your information, transition program aims for preparing students for the transition of the school year. The target student for this program is from primary and secondary school. Nevertheless, this program is more focuses on new students that enter for grade 1 and Form 1. In addition, Didik TV KPM, or also known as TV Pendidikan on non-Didik TV channel, is a Malaysian educational television network owned, produced and operated by a joint venture between Malaysia Ministry of Education, Educational Technology Department and Media Prima Berhad. The network will broadcast instructional content covering a variety of scholastic topics. The transition program was created because students were unable to attend to the school last year due to the enforcement of the movement control order, which prevent them from receiving a proper education. This transition program will be used to assess students' preparedness and prepare them for the next level of education. We can observe and compute how many days students are in school based on school session from last year and this year. So the Education Ministry is worried that there may be discrepancies in terms of communication and how learning occurs at home, taking into consideration inequalities in access to learning. This is why a transition plan is being presented. To guarantee that the country students do not drop out of school at this time, the Ministry of Education, or also known as MOE, took the initiative to introduce teaching and learning at home, or also known as PDPR. Unfortunately, the PDPR approach, as it is now the standard, continues to provide challenge for both teachers and also challenge to the student. The lack of gadgets and issue with the internet connectivity are only two of difficulties that make the Ministry of Education laudable objective difficult to realize. Ministry of Education recognized this and took the appropriate step of introducing education TV broadcast via Didik TV KPM.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Atika binti Afendi. Next, we proceed to the objective of the program. The Movement Control Order MCO has given a big impact to the education system, which they cannot go to school like before, and the establishment of this program is much needed to prepare them. First objective of this transition program is to increase student confidence in social interaction and learning. Social interaction can help their learning by improving their literacy and teaching knowledge, as well as their critical thinking and problem-solving abilities. Social interaction is important to the student because students can share their thoughts on a variety of topics, and student discussion typically lead to a deeper understanding. From the program, it also can boost student relationship with peers and teachers. They can share their thoughts by communicating with each other and also can give their idea in a task that has been given to them. It is because with friends, they can exchange their idea and can do a discussion together. For example, teacher and student can do fun activity together to have more interaction, which can make them communicate more. Second objective of the program is can provide students with knowledge, skills and values for further learning. One of the knowledge and skills that the student have include can handle critical thinking and also problem solving. Students also can increase their knowledge, skills and value for further learning in order to master in every subject in future. It is because if the student have additional knowledge, they also can enhance speaking in two ways. Skills also can be learned too, and if they develop more skills, they can be expert in a particular subject. If they learn more skills, they can dominate more technique in the future. One of the reason this program happen is because students cannot go to school like before. So this is to prepare them to have knowledge and skill for the transition to the next level. For example, the teacher can do a game or quiz in the classroom regarding the topic that they learn. With this, it also can increase their 3M basic skills that is important for further learning. The objective of the program is can diversify learning techniques that can increase comprehension in mastering in a particular subject. During this pandemic, students cannot go to school to study, so there are some constraints in terms of learning comprehension. It is because during movement control order, all the education system have to be doing in online learning. The education TV has been established before this pandemic happened, but in the current situation, the government plans to increase the channel of the education TV, including the YouTube channel, to give more opportunity for students to study anytime. By the establishment, students can find more way to learning through television, which is more fun, and at the same time, they can write the important points of the learning. Example of education TV are TV OK, Astro, and NTV7. They need to have versatile in the learning process now because of the current situation, which is they do not know when they can learn like before. All regarding the objective of the program. Thank you.
The first changes from the transition program is the timeline for students for their learning process. Like we know, the transition program changes the routine and cover the school calendar changes to help the student year 1 to adapt and help them to be prepared well before the school session. They have 3 main phases in this transition program. First is the preparation phase. That means the teachers and the school management need to manage and provide the best classroom before the year 1 student attend to the school to make sure that they can adapt with the school environment. Next, the adjustment phase. That means a target will be implemented in X day to help the student to know their teachers, know their school, and also know with their new friends to make sure they can communicate each other. Last is the readiness phase, that to help the student to be ready to start their class and know what will they learn in their learning session. Next, the second changes is the way used to deliver the knowledge for the student in these programs. The changes on the learning style, that means the face-to-face changes to online learning that we support by the education TV is a way used by the ministry to support the transition program. Besides, provide the sufficient learning materials support by the dilemmas, and also it help the student, year 1 student, know and their parents can take action if their children need to study with the PDPR because they have the material and also they have knowledge on how to handle these problems. The last changes of the transition program is focused on the preschool student before they go to the year 1 students. Transition program be as important program because to evaluate the year 1 student that they are ready or not for their learning process. Besides, before this, we make an exam to evaluate their level of knowledge and also from their level of education. With the transition program, is provide to help them to adapt, and if they have the problem, it can help the ministry or the school management to know what the action can take directly to cover and to support the year 1 students. Next, to compare Malaysia education system with another developing country, we choose Thailand. It is because Thailand also affected by COVID-19 and also their education system stopped between 6 weeks and they choose to use online digital learning. Because of that, their government take an action to get support from the private organizations such as Asia Foundation to start their online education program. Because of that, they choose to use Office of Private Education Commission (OPEC) to help their government to manage their education system learning and also support by the National Broadcasting and Telecommunication NBTC. NBTC provide 17 special channels for education online learning and this to manage their learning well, and TVC invited into the category that primary school, secondary school, and also for the vocational school. For now, the Thailand government and Thailand education system already start their face-to-face learning session since 1 July 2021. From what Thailand education system implement in their country, Malaysia also follow on what they do in their country. In Malaysia, also support by another private sector, for example, Daima and also Media Prima to support the transition program. Media Prima provide the channel for online education channel or broadcast on the TV OK, Astro TV and also NTV7 to support and also to give the knowledge to the student during this pandemic COVID-19. From all the explanation from the Thailand and also Malaysia, we can compare that Malaysia is level with the education level of Thailand and also the management of the education crisis. Thailand and Malaysia is very good, and this is good because it can improve and also to get more preparation if any problem happen in the future.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Syarita Ifa binti Mak Fauzi. So, to ensure the implementation is fully utilized, they also need to focus on the challenges. Particularly, there are 3 challenges to implement the transition program and education TV. The first challenge is literacy and numeracy proficiency, or 3M basic skills. The 3M skills are in Malay membaca, menulis and mengira, or in other words, the skills of reading, writing and counting. As we know, Malaysia happened to shut down all schools during Movement Control Order, MCO. Therefore, students have to face online distance learning. The second challenge is student readiness. During MCO, the self-directed or self-monitoring are essential elements because learning at home is different from learning at school. They need to be independent to survive with online programs, which has an intended impact on psychological and physical growth. If the transition program happens to be implemented offline at school after they adapting learn at home, they perhaps face difficulties to adapt with a new surrounding, which resulting in significant psychological effects such as stress because they cannot learn like other classmates and feel left out. Then the program cannot run effectively. The last challenge is school level transition. They need to highlight reports made at the school level. According to a report from the Curriculum and Student Affairs Unit of Sekolah Kebangsaan Sungai Kelambu in 2021, the transition program's implementation had problem during the COVID-19 pandemic. Students ran the program online. However, a small proportion of students missed and did not participate directly in the learning session. It may be associated with insufficient online learning tools or unconducive places to study.
For the recommendation, the Ministry of Education can propose to the government to improve the jaringan prihatin package by giving both options to students, where students can use the device with a free SIM card that has internet access to attend the online classes. In addition, the device provided also needs to be upgraded to suit current needs. The speed of internet access provided also needs to be improved to ensure that students can follow online classes smoothly without any internet interruption. Furthermore, considering that Didik TV KPM will be continued and enhanced, the Ministry of Education can also consider for the government to provide free television with MyTV broadcast.
The second recommendation to cope with the second challenge just now which is student readiness to start the face-to-face class or program, is to introduce a soft skill clinic session. It is because soft skills can affect communication, interaction, and relationship with others. In addition, the soft skills clinic in education TV perhaps can display actors acting with soft skills to influence students who watch them. They will know what the correct and wrong actions to do in front of other people. Meanwhile, in transition program, teachers divide students into many groups to make ice-breaking session, to encourage them to speak comfortably, politely and confidently about anything they want or even themselves.
Next recommendation for the challenge above is that one-off assistance, or better known as bantuan one-off. The amount has been increasing from RM100 to RM150. This can extend help to the affected students to continue their schooling period at home and can help them to further their school level transition. This includes the provision of tablets through the Student Device Initiative for B40 families is desirable and targeted. This can help the student access the online digital learning from home through the existence. They can participate in class if they have enough sources to use. The student have to master in 3 basic skills before entering another level of learning. With this assistance, it helps the student to find material regarding the subject and can do exercise anytime with the tablet given by the government. The 2022 budget is concerned and prioritizes the education of groups affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, especially those from B40 families.
For the conclusion, transition program for 1-year student and also education TV is a good program that gives many benefits to the student and also for the country for the education level. Many issues has been solved from this program, from the objectives that have been planned, and also the ministry via this program, and also the challenges of the program can be controlled and also can be overcome. I hope that this program will be implemented and also can be improved according to the actual situation, and also I hope the education level in Malaysia can be improved to compete with the another developing country.